What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Skull and Bones going into 2022. So this is kind of my status report of the game, kind of talking about what I hope to see, what I expect to see, what I want to see about a game or a movie. This is kind of like a series I do at the end of the year. And for this one, again, I want to do Skull and Bones. If you guys want me to talk about any game franchise or movie franchise or game or movie in general, definitely let me know in the comments, and I will try to do as many as I can. This is really a time where we can do these kind of in-depth looks at these individual things because there's not too much else to talk about. So Skull and Bones, is 2022 the year, basically, right? Now, what does the year mean, right? I think for Skull and Bones, it means just seeing it again, right? The resurrection of Skull and Bones. It's been quite a journey, and, I'm recording this right after I did like a Sly Cooper one. I don't know which one will go up first, but 2022 is going to be special, in my opinion, not just for the games that are finally going to release, right? Because it's finally could be the year we get Gotham Knights and Hogwarts and God of War Ragnarok and just 2022 is going to be an incredible year for gaming releases. But what about games that are not releasing but are announced or are first shown, or you're shown for the first time, or kind of reintroduced like a Skull and Bones? It can be freaking insane. It really can. That excites me so much because, again, like I just talked about Sly Cooper a couple minutes ago, my time, and then for Skull and Bones, this is a game that I've been into literally since the first, and I've said it before, right? Since the first time we saw it, right? 2017, I believe, was the first year. 2018, they went back to E3 and they showed it again. And both times I was in. There were issues. I think I had the same issues that everybody else had. Now, did I think that those issues would result in them having panic attacks where they had no idea what they were doing with the game, and the game got scrapped 3 to 4 times, and the castle around them burned down and they had to rebuild? No, I didn't think that was going to happen, but I was overall happy with the product that I saw before me. And I think, judging on what has happened with Skull and Bones over the last 4 years now, I think a lot of people would maybe take back, if it was well, if you just didn't want us to criticize you and maybe we could get the game, then that would have been okay. But obviously the game's been missing in action for a very, very long time, right? Pretty much every quarter or every half, every time they do a fiscal report, Ubisoft, they always, push the game. It's going to come out this next fiscal year instead of the previous one. And they've done it, every year for the past, I think, 3 years now. I don't think, well, let me be careful here. I guess I would expect, think, whatever you want to say. I don't think the game is going to release next year. I would definitely be surprised in a good way, in a happy way, if the game comes out next year. It wouldn't come out, first half. It would have to come out, end of next year. I would still say, I think 2023 is probably the year. I think you could even do it, first half of the year, have 2022 be kind of a lead up to it, and then it releases in the first half of 2023. That's what I would personally think. But why 2022 would really be a year, a comeback year for the game, is because we would see it again. I fully, based off all the rumors and the leaks and all that stuff that we've heard really recently too, over the last couple months about Skull and Bones, it sounds like it's made some major progress quite recently, to the point that some other people even online would expect it, would think that it would be ready to be shown at an E3 2022, a Ubisoft show. I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't really see why you don't. If the game is in any, and I've thought this for a while, right? If the game is really in any state to be shown, any, you don't have to show the full built game, it running perfectly. But if you have anything to show, or you have any positive signs that the game is fine and you're not going to scrap it again and restart, so you feel confident in the general idea of what the game is, you show it. You show it, because then at least you make it. Because, look, I know it's still real. I'm still excited. There's a handful of us, right? A couple thousand online that still, know about the game or remember it. And I would say even less people that are still, still into it. And, it comes from Ubisoft. And look, I'm not saying Ubisoft is some, golden child of publishers or developers. They're not. They're easily one of the worst at this current point. But again, I've never really had a problem with what Skull and Bones was trying to be. And yes, it definitely, the live service-y thing and lasting a long time, that, it is that, and it feels like it's in line with Ubisoft's current strategy. But remember, they wanted this game out, in 2018. So this was supposed to be out years and years ago, and maybe it actually would have felt worse back then, and now it just kind of like fits in with like the time of like what other people are trying to do. But no, I mean, in terms of that thing, I'm not a fan of microtransactions and paying to win and games lasting or being out for like 7 years and constant updates. Sometimes you can do it right, but like 95% of the time you fail at that, and if you're a developer or publisher. So I'm not in support of that at all, but as I've always said, like Skull and Bones just kind of, speaks to me, the pirate kind of idea. I think if there is a game that could work with the, idea of like forming clans and the game lasting a couple years and having like events and different things that happen in the world, like I feel like Skull and Bones, it could work. It could. I don't know if it will, but it definitely could. So, I guess that's my pitch of why I'm still excited. But, if you have any of that stuff ironed out, I think you show it again, right? Because like I said, a couple minutes ago, you have a group, but the group I would say is considerably smaller than the group you started out with back in June of 2017. You got to get them back, and so you have to kind of re-show it. And then when you do re-show it, God, I mean, I don't even know. What do we expect? I've always kind of said I don't even expect anything remotely close to what we had, because 4 years, again, they showed in 2018, but from that first time we saw it, 4 years. The game has been canceled, like at least, or not canceled, like kind of restart, right? It's had different development teams that have worked on it like 3+ times. So I doubt the game is going to, I'm sure like the spirit or soul of it may be intact, but nothing else will be. So I'm not even expecting remotely close to the same game in terms of like how it's going to actually look to us. But again, you have to show it. So that's what I expect next year. I would say 2022, the year we see it. Finally, again, almost like a reintroduction, because it's been so long, and it's probably going to be pretty different from what we know it as. So you show it again, you have some sort of like lead in, and then either very late next year or the year after, 2023, you release it. So I'm excited. Again, 2022 for several games. We'll talk about more of them as the weeks go on this channel, but I'm excited for what it could hold for Skull and Bones. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Like I said, I'm going to be doing this for more game franchises, more movie franchises as the weeks go on. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter or subscribe to my second YouTube channel or support us on Patreon or YouTube memberships, links for them all are in the description below. Thank you for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all on the next video.